ways,
right, but
feels like it did kind of take the back
You think it got sidelined a little bit towards... I feel like if anything, maybe towards the halfway point,
towards the halfway point,
it got a little sidelined.
where I just feel like they needed a little bit more. And I'll tell you what, my last point here for story would have solved it, and that is, I feel like
hopefully we get like
can't
a
talk
separate
about,
ways.
and Victor Gideon
You know, what if he
just needed more screen time.
I think he
And
should have from that.
this would have solved a lot of it. You'll understand what I mean when you play the game. But it's just one of
I
those
hope we
things
get
where
like a separate ways and see what
the Ari engine
get more
in particular, the
DLC
remake
with
engine, which is not, is Reach for the Moon, but Ari engine, remake. It almost feels like that's what it's for. Has this problem. All of the games to a degree suffer. R2, R3, R4 remakes, they all suffer.
Hitting on the ground.
Jerry was in New York for this.
RE Village and 7 even struggle from screen time. Biggest characters for me, just to call each one of them out. Resident Evil 7 struggles with Zoe. Resident Evil Village struggles with Miranda. Resident Evil 2 Remake struggles with Birkin. Resident Evil 3 Remake struggles mostly with Nemesis. There's not enough screen time with the different forms and stuff, and even though he's always on you, you kind of really struggle with that. And Jill, to a certain extent, being able to go through different places, but Nemesis is the standout there. Now, RE3 and RE4 are the ones that struggle the least with this, but RE4 struggles with Sadler. Sadler really needed a little bit more screen time to be perfect. He's not bad, he's not perfect. And then this game struggles with Victor and spoiler character that I can't talk about. So I wish there was a little bit more screen time, and I think this would have fixed it a lot if they just gave them more screen time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that's bad, especially because I expected to see some of them a little bit more, the villain rather, just more on the back end. Like the halfway point, there's a certain things that I feel like they just forgot about or forgot to show for longer periods of time. Like that's, like you said, that screen time for Victor Gideon, just kind of like at the halfway point, it's just like, why does it fizzle away?
And the other issue is files and the pacing, like we talked about earlier.
This game
with the plot is just, I feel like they needed to explain more, and that's my takeaway. The plot is great, everything that's presented is great, about it, very, very interesting. With the files, now granted, we looked at the files, I don't consider it, but we could have been some that I really wanted to see,
Soundtrack and sound design is just fan-fucking-tastic. We played with headphones on. I love the dynamic between Grace and Leon and the songs that we play in their sections. And Leon definitely had the more amped up industrial, dark, bassy, kind of vibe with his music. And again, it fits that dark aesthetic that you really feel when you're playing as Leon. And Grace, again, same thing, like just really good, more haunting melodies. The Saber theme's awesome, the shop theme's awesome. I think there's like a few different things that I feel like there could have been more, I guess like, not like that there was like some ambient sounds in tracks, but like, I didn't really find that much wrong with the soundtrack. I think the sound, if anything, the sound design is just superb. I mean, the fact that you can hear the cries of the zombies, the moans of the zombies, the different enemies spawning, the dialogue, like all that was just very well done. They always, you know, the soundtrack is definitely better than I feel than 7 and 8. So we're talking mainline. This one takes the cake.
Better than 6 and 5 as well.
Yeah, I mean there was a lot of. I do like some tracks in 5. And
every
6,
soundtrack has good songs for sure.
I think this has been the best soundtrack in such a long time for mainline art.
Yeah, this soundtrack actually gives Artie 4 a run for its money. I really like Artie 4 soundtrack, but this one might actually be better.
There's definitely a lot of tracks where I'm like, man, I got to go back and listen to the soundtrack and just find those songs because I really do enjoy what I heard from our first playthrough. So
it also has a lyrical song in it
at the end credits.
At the end credits that I think is the best lyrical song they've done. Okay. Well, have they done one before RE Engine?
Probably not. Yeah, that's a good point. It's probably just been because they did the RE7, everyone had like some lyrical song, whether it was Talent Roadie or what was the RE7 one? It was
called.
It was the one that played with.
I don't want. Well, replay it.
Yeah.
It's all going blown away or whatever.
Yeah. It plays in the Jeep when
I
you
hate
drive
that song. It's bad. It's bad.
There's better soundtracks that have, obviously, that we've got in the past for RE, so that's why we had such a high standard for some of the soundtrack stuff. But this really met expectations. So I really enjoyed the soundtrack and the sound design. So no complaints there.
It's a phenomenal soundtrack. Can't wait for the soundtrack to go on disc. On the Capcom, on the Resident Evil YouTube page, they uploaded the short version. I believe it's from the credits. They show a cover before we go to overall, can't talk about all the areas, obviously, because there's some spoilers that go there. But in general, how did you feel returning to Raccoon City? Did you feel like it was handled well?
I feel like it was handled very well. I think as far as the world around this game, you got the Chronic Care Center and then you got Raccoon City. Raccoon City's the best part of this game. The Chronic Care Center is very well done. I did not hate going through it. I love seeing a new facility like this. That's my favorite section of the game. I can't wait to get back there. I love the pacing of Raccoon City. It's really risky Chronic Care Center. It's Raccoon City.
Like RE2 remake, for example, you have Raccoon City Let's bring it on home. What are your overall thoughts? Or if you feel like you've already explained all of them, what is your verdict?
All right. I think Resident Evil 9 Requiem was well worth the wait. I think Capcom did a fantastic job with this game. They've been hitting it out of the park with all these Resident Evil games, especially the remakes and just in general. And I think that as a longtime fan like we both are, I feel like this was a great, it really did feel like returning home in many ways. And the callbacks were fantastic, the connections were fantastic to the original games and the remakes, of course. And I think the dynamic between action and horror was fantastic. I didn't think this felt like too actiony of a Resident Evil like I did with RE6, where it was too much going on. There is ridiculous action moments that you just giggle, and you're going to see me, John, crack up at some of these moments, but in a good way, in a good
that morning started going back to what?
Sometimes it feels like
I don't care about the more action shit. I like over the top action.
It wasn't too big for its own good, right? This felt like it moved the plot along.
I like shit video. I'm an over the top guy.
I'm going to give a letter and a number.
Okay, I'm going to stand firm on this.
I don't want to ruin my video game.
It was fantastic. fantastic.
So for me, well worth the wait. I'm going to parrot everything you just said without...
I don't really care about realism. It's a video game.
Same supplies with the logos of the usual suspects.
Trisell.
Whatever it is, clearly wasn't meant to be found.
Trisell Resident Evil 5.
Tell me.
Oh my lord. Shit. Ask me anything about Resident Evil. No, the Lord. The lore is the only game I really have thought about lore, to be honest with you.
I'm going to parrot everything you just said without wasting time and just go right into it. I still have a couple questions. I still have a little bit to be desired. I want to see if the DLC comes out, but as the game stands right now, on a first playthrough, initial impression / review, spoiler free, I am going to give this game a B.
A B?
A B.
Okay.
So, I would say if I had to put a number on it, it would be an 8.5 out of 10. Okay. So. That's rounding to the nearest 5.
Right.
Only rounding down, you never round up.
Right.
So I would say
it's not
8.5
far
out
off.
of 10.
Yeah.
If it was an overall score, I'd give it like an 88, 89.
Okay.
I don't think it's quite there enough to be a 90, but that has nothing to do with the product that we get. It just has everything to do with some strange gameplay design choices, such as the upgrading system and some of the narrative things I feel like could have been fleshed out a little bit better. But I am a harsh reviewer. I want people to know I am a very harsh reviewer.
We both take the RE stuff very seriously, so we're going to be like very, we're going to tell it like it is, and we're going to be very thorough and strict with how we kind of present our reviews.
And to provide context before someone goes, oh my God, John, 8.5, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, I think we will get mercenaries later on. I think they will have mercenaries in this game.
I don't curve it to 7 like IGN and
all these other press people.
5 is average. If I played a game and I enjoyed it, but I don't feel like I'll ever go back to it, it's a 5. So 8.5 for me is really good.
Yeah.
RE4 original is a 100. That is literally nothing about that game. Is RE2 original is like 100, right? You want to be cheeky and say no game's perfect. I give them both a 99.
Yeah, I think that's a good kind of like sum up of how we feel with our first playthrough. Of course, we're going to be playing a couple times on our own, but we'll be playing on live stream. So these are all just kind of as it stands right now after our first playthrough. I just want you guys to keep that in mind.
Yeah. And that's all I have to say. So I give it a B. I don't work in pluses and minuses, just B. Okay. But after the DLC and everything else comes around, and assuming there's DLC, I'm pretty sure there will be. This game could very well be an A for me.
Yeah, that's kind of where, like, if I'm going to do a letter, like I did a number. But yeah, I mean, I guess if I do work in...
A 9 out of 10 would be a B.
Yeah. I was going to say.
We're right there.
Yeah, B to 9 out of 10, however you want to do that. But yeah, I think we'll get into more details with the podcast and all that stuff after we unpack more of our thoughts and collect more after the initial playthroughs that we do off camera.
Yeah, and I think this is also important to say right now. Obviously, opinions change. My opinion on 7 has changed over the years. My opinion on Village has only gotten worse. Just to put an example out there. But sure.
I just say they fucked up with Village. I'm like, I don't know what they were thinking with Village. It should be shot. What the fuck? Why just do it?
My opinion on RE2 and RE3 remake got a little worse as well over the years.
Sure. Yeah.
However,
things can change. Opinions can change. Yeah.
Right now, this is my 8th favorite Resident Evil game.
Okay. Yeah.
So whether that's going to go up or down is largely going to depend on the DLC.
Well, that's the biggest thing too. I don't know where I put this in my list.
It's a lot.
This is my first impressions, but this is better than me. I don't care what you say. Better than me.
To work out, but I have my list, so I've been figuring it out for my tier list.
Yes, and you've been talking about it the past couple days.
The past couple months, the tier list as well.
Now
So
the thing is like for me, like I said, I think this is just like
definitively, I think this is better than my 9th.
Yeah, I mean this again being a 9 out of 10 for me, like.
Where's that? Okay. Feeling I'm not wanted around here.
Which I won't spoil.
It's just a very, it's so good, guys, and I just really like this a lot more coming off of it from 7 and 8. And even my stuff from 7 and 8 has changed, right? Like I like 7 over 8 now, but like this is my favorite out of 7, 8, 9 in a row. I would put 9 and 7 and that
Is
order.
this your favorite Resident Evil since Resident Evil 5?
In the main line? Yes. Yeah, not remakes or spin-offs. Yes. I would
my
say
favorite
since
since
R5. Okay. Yeah. So that just gives you guys out there and everyone listening kind of where when we're talking mainline, that's why I hold it in such high regard because that's it, man. I do really enjoy this game, and again, like I said, there is those little bits that I'm like, okay, they could have did that better, but that's why it's not a 10 out of 10 for me. But that's
by the
what
way,
I'm sitting at.
It being my favorite game since 4, I just want to put it in perspective so people realize that was 20 years ago.
It's a long time.
It's been 20 fucking years since my last. Since this game is better than every game in the last 20 years for me. Except for remakes. There's a couple of remakes I put above, but
that just gives you guys an idea of where we sit, right?
And I'm not going to spoil my list, so
Stay tuned.
answer's no. Stay
The answer is
tuned.
no. But
We're doing tier list videos this year, so we will
yes, we are.
get those answers.
This journey has been fantastic. And, this week has, have peaks and valleys of how we've approached this day, this weekend. We just want to say thank you for all of us. We've got plenty more RE9 content. It doesn't end just because the game is out now. We got a lot of stuff to write up, a lot of stuff to go back and do a bunch of cool videos and more videos for you guys. And the podcast will be stay tuned. Smash that like button, subscribe. Check out the brand new Resident Evil Requiem shirts designed by Quentin Bauer.
Link in the description.
Link in the
Right at the top.
description. And we love you guys, and we'll catch you all in some more victory in the next one.
Peace out and enjoy the game.
Enjoy.
Oh, I am. See, that's the thing about it. I like a synthetic man. I'm not gonna let it. That's my opinion. Most of the things I agree with. Some things I don't. Yeah, he is a harsh critic, which I am too. He's putting down the harsh maybe I'll like play it through. This is my first playthrough, so it's like, your first playthrough. I just want to say I like the section. I can't wait for synthetic man to get this stuff. Where he got last night, got those
It's the other girl. Why is it the characters in media are always dumber than the audience?
Did you keep her safe? Okay.
You know what, I'll finish this video.
Elm Hill series. I bring all this up as it's important to understand the basics of Resident Evil's core because this core would change drastically as time would go on. And by the time we made it to the 4th entry in the series, the script flipped from the core gameplay and changed into something completely different. While Resi 4 definitely has a large amount of survival horror elements in it, the gameplay shifted into a hybrid of third-person, fast-paced action gameplay.
You get a fucking, which is kind of weird. That he is a fucking, like, that's kind of weird though. Like, you get a charm of fucking. Let's see if you can see that. You get a charm of fucking Claire on your fucking gun. What's the charm do? Let's see what the charm did. I didn't read what the charm did. I just bought it. Charm increases bullet penetration. What's this one do? Increases precision and crit rate. I don't know which one to use. I'm gonna use Claire. I think it's just funny that fucking Leon would just have a Claire fucking charm on his gun. That's funny.
With the classic Survival 4's staples, it would usher in a complete new direction of the series. And this would expand into the 5th entry as well, and obviously into 6. And this is also where we have to take a meta view of everything and break up the Resident Evil.
Like, I like 7 and 8, but I think these characters are just I don't know. They don't make characters. I don't know. I like characters. These characters. I think these are better now. Is there any? Nah, I don't want to upgrade anything else.
Series into its various eras.
Hopefully this is New Game Plus and you can just have your upgrades. I don't know if you can. It really. Let me see your head, motherfucker. Oh shit.
Shit, not good. Liquor.
Here at ARC, your movements will be constantly monitored. Do not leave the designated areas without authorization. The recording and transmitting of information is strictly prohibited.
Backup is on the way.
Not necessary. I'll neutralize the target myself.
John Kennedy. We finally meet.
I didn't realize I had such a big fan. How about an autograph?
I heard you were a smartass.
I didn't realize I had such a big fan. How about an autograph?
I heard you were a smartass. Target neutralized. Mission accomplished.
I didn't realize I had such a big fan. How about an autograph?
I heard you were a smartass. Not bad for someone at death's door.
Worry about me. How sweet. trouble. This guy was one tough bastard.
Coming from you, that's quite the compliment.
Grace should be nearby. Time to finally get some answers. Grace should be just up ahead.